Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Fanadian here. I'd like to welcome you all to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a little preview for the upcoming Miami Dolphins preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons. As you might be able to guess, this video is going to be pretty Miami Dolphins focused, as I'm pretty much just going to be talking about some of the things I'm going to be looking for in this game as a Miami Dolphins fan. So let's get started here. So like I mentioned, the team will be playing the Atlanta Falcons this Saturday. This should be a pretty interesting game because these teams will be playing against each other in the regular season, and they have also been having joint practices against each other these past 2 days, so they should be pretty familiar with each other, but the teams are probably also keeping a lot of secrets from each other because the real matchup will happen during the regular season. Also, we have no idea who's going to be playing in this game. Just like the Dolphins, the Falcons also lost their first preseason game, but they also benched most of their starters, so it wasn't really a true showing of what the team is about. But we're probably not going to see any Matt Ryan in this game. We're probably not going to get to see Xavier Howard go up against Calvin Ridley, or any Kyle Pitts versus Eric Rowe. We really have no idea who's going to be in or out. One interesting thing, though, is Xavier Howard had a press conference today, and he did say he expects to play a bit. He didn't play week 1, so that just kind of goes into the whole, we don't really know who's going to be in or out, what vets will play, what vets will be on the bench, how many series they're going to play. Will it just be like a couple snaps from X, or will he be in there for the whole first quarter? We truly have no idea and won't know until the game starts. Same with injured players. Some interesting players to watch, though, for this as a Dolphins fan will be Preston Williams and Elandon Roberts, who were both on the physically unable to perform list. Both of them got removed today and did practice today, so we'll see if they play. And Hunter Long, the rookie, a lot of people thought he might have had a bit of a season-ending injury early on in training camp, but apparently he was at practice today in pads and catching balls, so that is something really good to see for the rookie. It would be nice to see him bounce back, especially because this is a very important time for these rookies to develop and get used to playing in the NFL, so I would love to see Hunter Long play in one of these preseason games. Maybe he doesn't play in this one, but we could hope that he does play in the third one. One of the main things that all of us Dolphins fans are going to be watching in this game is the offensive line. I really want to see an improved offensive line performance because they did not play good against the Chicago Bears, so we're all going to hope that they do better. I think specifically when it comes to run blocking, I thought they honestly, looking back at that game, didn't do too bad in pass protection. The main issues did come when it came to run blocking, so that's going to be one of the big things I'll be watching. Austin Jackson will be under a huge magnifying glass for this game. A lot of people have been trashing him online for his performance in week 1 against the Chicago Bears. I've seen some people ready to declare this guy a bust already, so you'll have to see how he does in this game. We have a center battle going on right now between Michael Dieter and Matt Skura, so we're going to have to watch how each of those guys perform. I wonder who'll start in this game. Dieter started it in the last game, but I wonder if they might mix it up just so they could see how Skura does against the ones of another team. We don't really know what they're going to do, but I'm guessing it might just be Dieter if he is the one that's been performing the best in training camp. And Liam Eichenberg, the rookie who didn't play in the Chicago Bears game, has been back practicing. They did say he will play in this game, so I'm really excited to see how he performs. And also, does he play left guard or right tackle? I think it would be cool if they do something like have Liam play left guard in the first quarter and then right tackle in the second quarter. I don't know if that's something they'll do, but I just think that'd be cool to see because we don't necessarily know where they're going to use him yet. I'd like to see how Solomon Kindley does. I guess I pretty much just want to see how all the young offensive linemen perform in this game. Another thing I want to see the Finns do better is running the football. This kind of goes with the whole, better O-line performance, but they did not do a very good job running the ball against the Bears, and if you want to be a team that likes to run the football, you got to be able to pound the rock and make the teams, respect your run game, because that's going to really open things up for this offense, especially if they're using a bunch of RPOs. I also want to see how they rotate these backs in and out, right? Malcolm Brown started in that game against Chicago. He got most of the snaps, which a lot of people didn't think would happen. A lot of people thought it would be Myles Gaskin, so we'll see how they use both of those guys. And also Salvin Ahmed has been getting a lot of hype for how he's been performing in training camp. We'll have to see how he gets used because apparently he's been tearing it up a lot in the passing game. So I've seen some people predict maybe Malcolm Brown's a short yardage guy. You use Gaskin between the 20s and the middle of the field, and then you mix Ahmed in on third downs. We don't really know, but I'm really interested to see how they do this, especially as a fantasy football player, because I do like to try and get a couple Finns on my bench and, maybe have some guys playing on my team. So I really want to know how they're going to use these running backs. Another thing I would love to see is Tua complete a pass to Waddle. I want to see that Alabama connection. We saw Waddle have that really nice punt return in the first game against the Bears, but we didn't get to see him make any reception. So even if it's not from Tua, I just want to see Waddle, get a reception in this game. I want to see him get his first NFL reception and just, see the guy with the ball in his hands. Also, speaking of Tua, I would like to see him at least put one really solid drive together. In that game against Chicago, he started with a 3-and-out, followed that up with a nice drive that ended up in a field goal, and then his third series, that drive was looking really good, but then unfortunately it ended with that interception. So I would like to see Tua put together one nice, clean, solid drive where it does end in a touchdown score, but we don't know how much Tua we're going to see. Is it just going to be one drive? Will it be the full first quarter again? Like I mentioned earlier, we really have no idea. And one player that I really want to see play in this game is the rookie Jalen Phillips. And I want to see how he does at linebacker and how they use him. Is he mainly just going to be a pass rusher? Will we see him in coverage? A lot of people thought he would just be a defensive end, but the team does have him listed as a linebacker. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they use him, especially depending on what personnel grouping the Dolphins are using. They went into the Bears game with the nickel defense as their base defense, but we also saw them mix in a lot of 3-4, so that's going to be interesting to see how that affects Jalen Phillips' usage. I really am interested to see how he does in coverage, because I'm pretty confident that he's going to be good when it comes to rushing the passer. It's just we haven't really seen him, play in coverage a lot, right? He didn't do it at Miami. I guess he did do it at UCLA, but we got to see how he does it against NFL players. And speaking of the defense, I would like to see a repeat performance from the Dolphins secondary. They looked amazing against the Chicago Bears, so hopefully they could keep that up against Atlanta. That whole first half of that game was great for the Miami Dolphins defense, so I like to see them continue to look strong and good. We saw some nice plays from Nick Needham, Coleman, and Noah Igbenogany, so a lot of the second stringers were starting that game because the first stringers are out, and they looked locked down, and that's a great sign for the team if they can have some good depth in the secondary, especially because the Dolphins like to use multiple corners a lot. Rookie Javon Holland's been getting a lot of hype. Apparently he's been getting some interceptions in camp. It would be great to see him get one in a preseason game, so I'll be watching him. And Noah Igbenogany, who I just mentioned also, a lot of people will be watching him closely. He was a first-round pick. The expectations are super high from him. We didn't see a lot from him last season, so I'm hoping this year he could kind of pick it up a bit, because a lot of people are already, ready to declare him a bust too. So I would like to see Noah and Austin Jackson both prove some of the haters wrong, just because, as a Miami Dolphins fan, it would be great for these players to be good. And for the D-line, I thought overall they played good against Chicago. They did a good job stopping the run, which I wanted to see. Benardrick McKinney, he didn't play a ton in that game, but when he was in there, he was shutting down the run game. So we'll see how they do. The main thing I would like to see more from the D-line, if I had to nitpick, is a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. They didn't, get any sacks, so it would be nice to see them get a sack and be able to generate some pressure without blitzing, because that was a bit of an issue for them last year. And that's pretty much it. That's everything I'm going to be watching for in this game. You guys at home, you let me know what you guys are going to be watching for. Any players in particular, and particularly any position groups, anything you want to see, let me know. Leave a like if you like this video. Let me know how I can improve these videos. Subscribe if you want to see more Dolphins content. And until then, thanks for watching, everybody, and hopefully I see you in the next video.